Okay. Debbie, you read my mind. Good. Everyone, if you have a bolster, please place your bolster vertically on the mat behind you. If you don't have a bolster, it's fine. Just you can do it on the floor. And those of you using a bolster have a blanket at the top of the bolster where your head would rest. Otherwise, you're just doing it on the floor, okay? And then sit in front of your bolster and lie back down in Supta Baddha Konasana. So, Debbie, don't go forward like that. Hips should be close to the bolster. Otherwise, yes, and then lie back. Correct. Yeah. If you're not using a prop, just lie down on the floor. And if you don't have one of those vertical bolsters, it's better to just be on the floor. And tuck your tailbone in, bending your knees, join the soles of your feet, and allow your knees to drop to the side towards the floor. Tuck your shoulder blades under to lift the sternum up slightly, and turning your palms up. Just relax there in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is a restorative posture, one that is really good for the pelvis, groins, and for the relaxation of the lower abdomen and the contents of the organs in the pelvic and abdominal region. Allowing the body and the mind to adapt into this present moment in time and space. And help you to drop into your reality of being here, practicing yoga, that is a result of a conscious choice you made to be here. And as you choose to be in this present moment, also choose to let go of thoughts in the past or the future. And make the choice to be present in your body, in your breath, and in your letting go. Yeah, if it's too much to stay with the knees apart, you can release, straighten the legs for a moment, and then go back into it. And keep your mind with your breath. Just observe your breath as you breathe naturally. Wherever you feel any holding, sometimes we hold in the region of the face. So first just become aware of the skin on your face and release from the outside to the inside. We also hold usually in the jaw region, throat region. So soften your eyes. And usually if you relax the face and the head, your arms and shoulders will also respond and release. Use your breath to inhale and lift the navel up. Exhale and relax the navel. So it's a little deeper breath here. Inhaling, the navel lifts up. Exhale, release. One more time, inhale. Exhale, release. And then full yogic breath, which means you take the inhale all the way down to the sacrum. At least visualize that. And exhale, release it up the spine. Inhale, massaging the spine with your breath all the way down to the sacrum. Exhale, relaxing the spine from the sacrum all the way to the skull. One more time. And release, please. Relax your breath. Bring your legs towards, knees towards each other, and either roll to your side and come up, or use your hands to push you up, straight up. We're going into, keep your bolsters there. Those of you who have the bolsters, keep it there, please. We're going into Virasana, which is come to tabletop on your hands and knees. So face the opposite direction of the bolster. And let's see, Kerith, go forward a little bit so the feet are in line with the edge of the bolster. If you don't have a bolster, just do it on the floor. So knees together, feet apart, and the tops of the feet are lengthening along the floor, and the toes pointing straight back. Now, if you have a brick, those of you who don't usually do this posture, I recommend putting either a brick or two. You may need two, depends, between your feet. So between the heels, Debbie, move forward a bit away from the bolster. Yeah, and put the brick under and sit down on the prop. In Virasana, knees together, feet apart. I can't see your legs, Tina, but It's okay if you're, as long as you're okay there. Donna, you too. I just want to make sure you're okay. Okay, good. Yeah. Now, those of you sitting on a brick, take your hands back, lean back, and place your fingers on the floor. Lean back. And fingers pointed forward. Lift your sternum up. Drop your head. Straighten the elbows. Tuck the tailbone a little bit. Just stay there, okay? Most of you will just stay there. Only if your hips are on the floor and not on a brick, then maybe bring your elbows to the floor. Otherwise, if you're on a brick, stay up, please. And Karit, release your torso to the bolster. Everyone else, stay up, hands on the floor. And you can lift your hips off the brick. Push down with your wrists, lift the hips off the brick, tuck your tailbone, lift your chest, drop the head back to open the quadriceps and the front of the pelvis and torso. And release your hips to the brick and come up, please. Bring the torso up. Drop your hands in front. Go to tabletop again. And straighten one leg behind you. Straighten the right leg. Toes on the floor. Toes on the floor. Tuck the toes, Debbie. Yeah. And just knee off the floor. Tuck the right toes in on the floor, Donna. And just move the body front and back. Release the back of the knee. And do it on the other side. So tuck the toes on the left foot. Don't point the foot. Flex the foot and tuck the toes. Yes, and then move back and forward. Open the back of the knee. Good. And come back, lie down on your back. You can move your props away. Grab a belt. If you have a belt, please grab it. And just lie down on your back. Relax there. And straighten your legs along the floor. Bring the straight legs together. And flex your feet. Activate your thighs. And pushing down on your elbows, palms facing up. Take the navel in to the spine. Turn the palms up, please. And push down on your elbows, take the navel in and pull the perineum muscle up at the pelvic floor. Pull it up towards your spine. Breathe normally there. Good. And bend your right knee, hook the belt around the arch of your right foot. If you don't have a belt, let's see, everyone's got a belt, I think, or some form of it. And straighten the right leg. And hold the belt high enough that your elbows are straight, but also the shoulder blades should be on the floor. Elbows straight, shoulder blades on the floor. So adjust the hold. And hold the belt just with your right hand. So Tina, walk your hand up the belt, please, till the elbow becomes straight. Hold just with the right hand. You can wrap if you like, that's better if you wrap the belt. And left hand on the left hip. Inhale, pull the right leg in towards your chest. Flex the left foot. Exhale, and take the straight right leg to your right. Don't let the belt slip. Don't let the belt slip. Bend the right elbow and release the leg to the right. And stay there in the half position with the leg off the floor. Keep it up first. Don't take it down. Pull the foot towards your shoulder, right shoulder. Do an external rotation of your right thigh, which means the knee and the foot will turn to the right towards the floor. Pinky toe comes down, heel goes up. Yes, that's the external rotation. Straighten the right leg. Keep the right leg straight and flex the left foot. Use your left hand and push the left hip down. Ground the left side of your body. Pull the right leg towards the right shoulder. And then maybe if you're more open, keeping the left hip grounded, open the groin and the hips to bring the right pinky toe on the floor without lifting the left hip and shoulder up. Good. Come back to center and release the leg, please. And making your way to the other side. Bend your left knee, hook the belt around the arch of the left foot. Straighten both legs. And hold the belt high enough with both hands that you're able to straighten the elbows, but also low enough that you can place the shoulder blades on the floor, but they're not lifting off the floor. Straighten both legs, and then hold the belt just with your left hand, right hand at the front of the right pelvis. In this posture, before you go in, the more important action is the grounding of the right side here. Against that, you open the left side. Yeah, so that's important. If you just lift the right side, then you don't get the benefit of the posture. One side has to ground, the other side has to open against that. Yeah, so pull the left leg in towards your shoulder and bend the left elbow. Take the left leg to your left. Stop when the elbow touches the floor. You can just relax into it. You don't have to think too much into it. Laurie, try not to slide the belt when you go into it. Hold higher up and grip the belt. Yes, bend the elbow and pull the leg down. Yes. Stop there, and here you adjust. First, you do an external rotation of the left thigh, which means the left knee and the left toes will come towards the floor. The heel will go up. Then straighten the left leg any amount. And now ground the right side. Flex the right foot. Drag the right heel away from the calf muscle. Ground the right calf muscle, right buttock, right shoulder. Bring the right back ribs towards the floor. And now keeping that side grounded, pull with the left hand and pull the foot down towards the floor, toes down towards the floor. But the two things. One is the left leg should not move away from your shoulder. If it moves away, down, then you lose the benefit. The other is the right hip should not lift up. So even if you don't take the leg all the way down, keep those two actions as part of the posture. Good. Inhale, come up, please. Exhale, release, and relax there in Shavasana. Karith, this would be a good time if you want to share anything. And just relax there.
The medieval commentator Sforno wrote these words: HaChodesh hazeh lachem rosh chodashim. From now on, these months will be yours to do with as you like. But in the days of your enslavement, you had no control over your days at all. You were always at the beck and call of your others. Therefore, it will be your first month for the month of the year, because it began your reality of choice. Sforno is addressing this movement in the physical reality of our ancestors as they moved from slavery to freedom. We are not enslaved today, but every single year we recite these words around our Passover tables. Now we are slaves. Next year, may we be free. This is a constant reminder to ourselves, our children, our families, to move from that which constricts us toward what Sforno calls our reality of choice. Do we live in a way that constantly constrains us? Or do we open to the reality of choice that lies right in front of us? This is really up to us.
And even though we inherently all have the power of choice, it is still fortunate for us to be able to exercise the power of choice. Not everyone is as fortunate. And it is the power of choice and the ability to execute the choice that helps you to shift your reality. In the yoga practice, yoga is considered, not considered, it is a spiritual practice which takes us from the external to the internal, from tightness to openness, from discomfort to ease, from bondage to freedom. And the mechanism that helps you in this process is being able to exercise choice, to move away from bondage to freedom. And of course, the commonly known bondage is when we are constricted by other human beings or situations, more gross level. But on a deeper level, we are bound to our own patterns, ways of thinking. We are bound to our physical realities, maybe pain, tightness, illness, our ways of thinking, our emotional patterns, especially the negative ones. And in order to break that, we have to execute choice towards and desire towards going towards a more positive reality. And usually an internal shift manifests itself in the external world as well. So a lot of it comes from within. The fact that you have chosen to be here at this moment is within itself a movement towards a desire to move within and to find more freedom physically, mentally, and emotionally. Movement towards more joy and peace. It's important to acknowledge that for yourself. Okay, and then slowly make your way to a seated posture. Please bend your knees, roll over to your side, and come up. We're going to go into Virasana again. And so come to tabletop on your hands and knees. Have your brick close to you. Most of you are going to need that. And knees together, feet apart. Place the brick in between your feet if you're using it, and sit down on the brick. And the brick, place it horizontal so it's wider than, yes. And the height is up to you. Height is up to you, but make it wide behind you. So both sit bones can rest on it. And look at your feet. Make sure, use your hands to bring the toes in a bit, so the toes point straight back. You're not at an angle, moving out, but straight back. And take the heels slightly away from the inner heels. Take it away from your outer hips a bit. So there needs to be a gap between the outer hips and the inner heels. You're not sitting on them, or there's no contact there. This is, of course, it's opening the front of the feet, the shin bones, the front of the knees, the front of the quadriceps. And it's also opening the hamstrings. Lengthen the sternum and relax the tailbone. This will help to relax the vertebrae. And if you're feeling any tightness, use your breath to flood the area with your mental energy and with your exhalation to relax. Suggest for it to relax. And bring your hands to Namaste. Lift your sternum up. Interlock your fingers in front. Straighten your elbows, straighten your arms, palms facing out. Interlock your fingers, palms facing out. Straighten your arms, take your hands above your head. And lift the sternum up, opening the armpit chest area. Take the elbows back in line with your ears or behind. Spin the triceps in. Widen the collarbones, drop your shoulder blades, and lift. Keeping the spine extended, twist the torso to your right on your exhalation. Release the right hand behind you, either if you have a brick or fingertips on the floor. Just try not to lean back. So, yes. And then release the left hand outside, on the outside of the right knee. Yeah. Now, when you did that, your sternum probably dropped. So relax the left sit bone back. Lift the left sternum up. Let's see. Steve, you're leaning back a bit. Just bring your chest forward. Yes. And lift the left sternum up. On the inhale, on the exhale, bend your elbows, take the right shoulder back. You're twisting the spine here. Make sure that the left sit bone does not go with the twist. It should be relaxing. Inhale, lift the left sternum. Exhale, take the right shoulder back. Bend the elbows. Bend the right elbow as well. Kerith. One more time. Inhale, lift the left sternum. Exhale, right shoulder back. And then finally, turn the chin to the right in a relaxed action of the neck. And now you would have accessed some tight muscles around the spine. Suggest for it to relax. And come back to center. Bring your hands to Namaste. Lift your sternum up again. Interlock your fingers the other way. If you don't know, do it spontaneously and change. Straighten your arms. Take your hands above your head. Lengthen. Open the armpit chest area. And twist to your left. Release the left hand behind you. Fingertips or the wrist, but just make sure you don't lean back. And point your fingers to the left in the direction of your chest. Fingers to the left. Pointing the fingers to the left wall on the left, yeah. Okay, and release the right hand to the left knee. Inhale, lift the right sternum up. Exhale, bend your elbows. Take the left shoulder back, right shoulder forward. Laurie, turn your fingers towards the wall in front. Sorry, to your left, the wall to your left. Yes, like that. And bend the elbows. Kerith, you're leaning back too much. Can you go forward a bit? Drop the right sit bone. Yeah, and then lift the right sternum and left shoulder back. Laurie, lean forward a bit, please. A little more. And then twist. and release, please. Interlock your fingers, hands above your head, straighten, take your hands above your head, and release your hands. Come out of Virasana, straighten your legs. Okay, now if you have some wall space that you can use, that would be really nice. You can also do these postures seated, but if you have some wall space, because you're going to take your legs up the wall, and then you're going to spread the legs apart on the wall. So if you have enough wall space, then go to the wall, sit sideways, and take your legs up the wall, back on the floor. If you don't have wall space, then just sit on your mat, please. You can do it seated as well. It's just a little nice to do it against the wall. Okay. So if you're on your mat, please sit on your mat. Don't sit down. Come up, Nancy and Steve, and you can face the camera and stagger yourselves a little bit. So one person, yes, you're going to take your legs apart. Okay. Now first, in with your legs together first in Dandasana, flex your feet. Drag the heels away from your calf muscles. And lift your sternum up, shoulder blades under. Those of you with your legs up the wall, take your hands overhead, please. Those of you seated on the floor, interlock your fingers and take your hands above your head. Flex your feet, activate your thighs. Ground the sit bones either on the floor or on the wall. If your legs are on the wall, point your tailbone down to ground the sit bones on the wall. And lengthen the spine. Good, and bring your hands down or in front. Just, release your hands down if you're seated. Okay, now you're going to take the straight legs apart as much as you can, either on the floor or on the wall. Use your hands and do an internal rotation of your thighs so the inner groins spin towards the floor or the wall, depending where you are. And you can keep your hands on your thighs, those of you against the wall. If you're on the floor, release your hands next to your hips on the floor. And everyone flex your feet. You can see your feet and your knees. There should be a slight internal rotation of the thighs and the groins moving towards the wall. Inner groins moving towards the wall, so the knees point straight up, toes point straight back or up, depending where you are. Flex the feet, drag the inner heels away from you. And those of you on the floor, hands next to your hips, lift your sternum up. Lengthen. Then everyone interlock your fingers, take your hands above, straight up, and take them above your head. Those of you with your legs on the wall, point your tailbone down. Those of you on the floor, similar action, you're bringing the front of the sit bones down, either towards the wall or the floor. And the back of the sit bones move away. Front of the sit bones towards the wall, back of the sit bones towards the floor. Good. And bring your hands either down or forward. And bending your knees. Join the soles of your feet in Baddha Konasana. And bring your heels in towards your hips. Use your hands to pull them in or down. And place your hands on your thighs. Inhale. Lengthen the sternum. Point the tailbone down. Exhale. Press the center of your heels and push your knees down towards the floor or the wall. Press the heels. That action in the feet is important. So bend your knees. Heels are touching. Press the heels. Open the big toes and the big toe mounds away from each other. For a few breaths on the inhale, lift your sternum up. Exhale. Press the feet and use your hands to bring the knees down. Opening the hip joint here. And then once you've gone to your capacity, just hold the legs down, lift the sternum up, and stay there. You can also do it passively, which means you're not really doing much action, but just relax there. That's another way of doing it. Just lift the sternum up. You'll still get some benefit on that too. Good, and release, please. Bring the knees together. Those of you on the wall, bend your knees, gently roll over to your side, and come up to a seated posture. We're going into child's pose. If you have a bolster, have the bolster close to you. If you don't have a bolster, that's fine. And join your big toes. Take the knees apart and pull the bolster in between the knees. Pull it in. Sit down on your heels, please. Sit down on your heels first. Debbie, sit down on your heels and then pull it in. Yeah. And then fold forward. Rest either on the bolster, or you can go into full child's pose, head on the floor, or you can use a prop for your head. Use your hands in front to push the hands into the floor and take your hips back towards the heels to open. If you have a prop, let it be under your forehead and enough room for your, if you're using a brick, that is, enough room for your nose to be comfortable. If you're on a bolster, it's better to have like a blanket under your forehead or the brick. And let there be a space under the nose. And speaking of choice, in this busy world that we live in, action, overaction, overdoing something is what creates stress. Stress, in turn, loads the nervous system, it loads the physical body, the emotional body, your internal organs, how we interact with others. The antidote to stress is relaxation. And the definition of effective, efficient action is that which is done from a relaxed state of mind. How many times do we choose to move towards relaxation? And how many times do we choose to act out of a state of relaxation? And we get used to being in a heightened, agitated state. We almost are. There's another example of bondage. We get used to that. And if we don't have that, we feel kind of lost because we're used to that. And that's why we have to choose to move from a place of awareness. If you're aware that stress creates problems, why would you choose to operate from there? Relax in child's pose. Relax your ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists. And notice if you're able to relax here or not. Move to a place of stillness, of complete release. Relax your throat, face, and eyes to relax the nervous system. And release your breath. Okay, inhale, come back up, please. Release your legs in front, come to Dandasana with your legs straight forward. Those of you who have tight hamstrings, please sit on either a thin cushion or a folded blanket. We're going to open in a forward bend here. Take your feet hip distance apart, straight legs, feet hip distance apart. Straighten the legs and hands next to your hips on the floor. Inhale, lift your sternum up, take your shoulders back and drop them down. Flex your feet, drag your inner heels away. Ground the calf muscles. Activate your thighs. Look at your big toes. Bring your hands to Namaste. Lift your sternum up. Interlock your fingers. Straighten your arms and take your hands above your head. Inhale, look up. Release the interlock. Point your fingers up. Exhale. Hold from the hip joint. Don't release your hands. Don't release your head. Just fold from the hip joint, bring your torso down as much as is available. Keep lengthening and then release your hands and hold wherever's comfortable for you. Whether your feet or your legs. You can also put a belt around your feet if they don't reach and hold the belt. And in the half position, pull on the belt or your feet and lift your sternum up. Walk your hands down the belt enough that your hands become straight. Yeah. And lift the sternum, lengthen the sternum towards the chin. Flex your feet. Straighten the legs to open the back of the legs. If you're more open and you're folding from the half position to the full, keep looking at the big toes. Don't release your head. Inhale, lengthen the sternum forward towards the chin. Exhale, take the elbows out to the side and don't release your head. And drop your abdomen towards your thigh. And now again, stay there. Don't take the torso up. Tina, walk your hands down the belt, please. The elbows go forward as much as you can. Yeah. Inhale, lengthen the sternum forward. Exhale, elbows out to the side. Relax the hip joint, abdomen towards the thigh. Look at the big toes. One more time. Inhale, lengthen the sternum forward right there. Exhale, elbows out. Relax the hip joint and release the abdomen towards the thigh. Now, keeping the sternum lengthening, relax your head. Don't drop the sternum. The head relaxes. The sternum is still lengthening forward. So open the hip joint. Stay there, please. Tina, you can hold your feet. Your hands can reach your feet. Yeah, there you go. You don't need the belt. Okay, and come up, please. Interlock your fingers. Straighten your arms above your head. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, release your hands. Laurie, take your hands up first. Take them up. Yeah, and then release. Going into another forward fold, bend your right knee. Take the right knee down to the floor on the right. And right foot against the left inner thigh. Outer foot and ankle on the floor. Hands on either side of the extended leg. Lift your sternum. Turn the navel to your left. Look at your left big toe. Flex the foot. Left foot. And then if you're using a belt, hold the belt in your hands. Otherwise, interlock your fingers. Straighten your arms and take your hands above your head. Navel to your left again. Inhale, look up. Release the interlock. And exhale, fold from the hip joint first and then release your hand. Hold wherever's comfortable for you. In the half position, hold firmly whatever you're holding, hold it firmly. And pull with your hands, lengthen the sternum towards your chin, especially the left side of the sternum. Now you can just stay here in the half position. If your hamstrings and hips are tight, stay here. If you're more open, inhale, lengthen the left sternum. Exhale, elbows go out to the side. Relax the hip joint. Keep looking at your left big toe. We're opening the hips here. So it's important that the spine lengthens. Inhale, once again, lengthen the sternum there where you are. Don't bring the torso up. Just lengthen the sternum. Exhale, elbows go out more. Bring the abdomen closer. Stay there. Don't bring the torso up. Just lengthen the sternum forward. Exhale, elbows go out and relax the rib cage onto your thigh. And then release your head. And keep lengthening the sternum forward. Of course, if your hamstring and hip is tight, naturally you're going to feel the resistance here. but just try to relax the discomfort. Inhale, come up, please. Interlock your fingers, take your hands above your head. Lengthen the spine. Release your hands and change sides. Straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, take it out to your left. Take it down to your left. Hands on either side of the right leg. Lift your sternum up and turn the navel to your right. Flex the right foot, activate the right leg. Right foot straight up, right toe straight up, right knee straight up. Interlock your fingers or hold the belt, straighten your arms and take your hands above your head, navel to your right. Look up, release the interlock, point your fingers up, exhale, fold from the hip joint, don't release the hands and head first, relax the hips and bring your torso down, keep looking in between your hands to lengthen the spine, and then when you can't go any lower, then release your hands. And then in the half position, inhale, lengthen, pull with your hands and pull the sternum towards the chin. To open the hip joint, exhale, either stay there or bend your elbows and bring your abdomen towards your thigh. For 3 breaths, inhale, lengthen the sternum forward where you are. Exhale, elbows out, relax the hip joint, abdomen towards the thigh. 1 more breath, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And now release the head. Don't try to go lower. Just relax there. Ah, Steve has gone down quite a bit today. Okay, inhale, come up, please. Exhale and release. Does everyone, let's see. Let's do it reclining. We're going to do a few twists. We'll do it reclining. So lie down on your back, please.
I'm having a little bit of lower back issue, so whatever you can suggest for me, a little bit of lower back pain.
What we're going to do now will help. Debbie, we're doing twists, which are always good for the lower back. Okay, and bend your knees, please. Place your feet as wide as your mat. So take them apart a bit. And we're going to do some windshield wipers, moving the knees to one side and then to the other. And move slowly.
Your sound changed for some reason.
Oh yeah, thank you. Okay, and move the knees from side to side. Relaxing the hips and the spine. And the next time your knees are to your right, stop there. So Donna, take your feet apart more. They should be as wide as the mat. Yeah. Yeah, and then place the right ankle on the left knee. Bring both the knees towards the floor, to your right. And take your left hand in line with the left shoulder on the floor, just to the side. Yeah, and turn your palm up. Take the right hand as well in line with your shoulder. Press on the right elbow and bring the left shoulder down. And bring the left knee and right knee towards the floor. Relax the outer line of your left leg, hip, and back. And drag your left hand along the floor, take it overhead behind you. Yeah. Turn the palm to your right and reach with the left thumb side of your wrist, lengthen. And you'll feel that lengthening the low back on the left side. Press down on the right elbow and take the left shoulder down to the floor. Breathe into the region that's being lengthened here. Good, and bring your left hand back in line with your shoulder. Release your right leg. Place your feet on the floor, please. And take your feet as wide as your mat again. And do another 5 windshield wipers from side to side. Next time your knees are on the left, stop there and place your left ankle on the right knee and let the weight of your lorry the other way, left ankle on the right knee. Yeah, and let the weight of the left leg pull the right knee down. As the right knee comes down, it's going to open the right hip, outside of the right leg, hip, and the low back. It's going to stretch it out. Press down on the left elbow to bring the right shoulder down, to twist the spine. And breathe into wherever you feel the stretch. Exhaling and suggesting for it to relax. Now drag the right hand along the floor and take it overhead. Turn the palm to face the wall on the left, and straighten the right elbow by moving the left thumb side of your wrist. Sorry, the right thumb side of the wrist. And pull the right knee down even more. And this will lengthen the low back from below and above. Use your breath to energize and relax the area. Good. Inhale. Bring the right hand back. Bring your legs back. And roll over, please. Make your way to standing. And stand in mountain pose. We're going to do a few variations in mountain pose with the arms. And I'm not going to keep you too long in them, but it's always nice for the entire body. First, just stand in mountain pose with your hands as they are. Activate from the floor up, lengthening the spine in front, dropping the shoulder blades down, tucking the tailbone in slightly. Take your hands out to the side in line with your shoulders, palms facing up. Drop your shoulder blades and take your hands all the way up. Work from the floor again to lengthen. And then bending your elbows slightly, spin the triceps in, widen the collarbones, and drop your shoulder blades down, and then straighten your elbows any amount without losing that alignment in the shoulders. Release your hands in front of you. Interlock your fingers. Straighten your arms, palms facing out, and take your hands above your head. Lengthen. And always recharging from the floor up. Foundation in the feet, action in the thighs, extension in the spine, opening in the shoulder joint and the hip joint. Now release your hands, and if you have reverse namaste, namaste behind your back, then do that please. Otherwise, just hold your elbows behind your back. And here we are coming into the front body a little bit more. So from the floor again, apply your actions, lift your sternum up, and take your shoulders back away from the sternum. So the chest lifts up and widens from the sternum, the center of the chest, to the shoulders, the inner shoulders. That area should widen, lengthen and widen evenly on both sides. And going into Gomukhasana arms, release the right hand, keep the left hand up behind your back, and take your right hand in line with your shoulder on the right, palm facing up. Turn the palm up towards the ceiling. And then take the right hand straight up, place the upper arm behind your head, and bend the right elbow. Clasp if you can clasp, or you can also use the left hand on top on your elbow to pull it in, or you can also use a belt. Good, and release. Make your way to the other side. So right hand up your back, left hand up, bend the left elbow, clasp, or hold the belt, or right hand on the left elbow from above, your choice. Just opening the armpit chest area on the left side. Good, and release please. Relax, just shake the body a little bit, loosen your joints from Tadasana. Next, we're going to do half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, which if you have a wall that's free, it's nice to do it against the wall. Otherwise, you can just do it on your mat, that's fine too. Okay, so stand at the center of your mat, please, facing the camera. And if you have bricks, please place the bricks on the back edge of your mat. And step your legs apart, hands apart. And point your right foot out. Inhale, extend with your right hand. Exhale, go into triangle with both legs straight. Release the right hand to the brick or anywhere that's comfortable for you. Left hand on your hip, please. And even if you don't have a wall, just imagine the wall. I'm going to instruct to the wall. Left hand on your hip to begin with. Bend the left knee slightly. Take your head and chest back towards the wall. And take the right hip away from the wall. Bring it forward towards the camera. Now straighten the left leg. Take the left buttock towards the wall as well. Keeping the head and shoulders on the wall. Take the left shoulder to the wall as well. And take the left hand up in triangle. It's better to stay a little higher so you can find clarity than go lower and struggle. Yeah. So it's better to stay a little higher. Then release the left hand to your hip. We're going into half moon. Bend the right knee. Step the left foot forward close to the right. And take the brick about 2 feet in front, slightly to the right of your right foot. Take the left shoulder back. Keep the right knee bent. Don't straighten the right leg. And lift the left leg up in the air. Lean on the brick. Keep the right elbow straight. Lift the left leg up. Now take your head and chest back. As you take the head and chest back towards the wall, the right hip will move away from the wall and straighten the right leg. Now take the left heel to the wall as well. Take the left shoulder back and take your left hand up. Push with the right wrist. That will help you to have more stability. And come down, release, come up, please. Good. Let's go to the other side. So step your legs apart. Turn the left toes out. Hands in line with your shoulders. Inhale, extend with your left hand. Left hip moves back as you go into triangle. Release your hand to wherever it reaches comfortably. And don't try to push down too much. Instead, see how you can find more length in your spine. Lift your sternum, take your head and chest back. Bring the left hip away from the wall. And try to take the right shoulder to the wall. Keep the right hand on your hip. And this is the same action in half moon too. So now stepping to half moon, bend the left knee, take the brick about 2 feet in front, slightly to the left, walk your right foot in. Keep the left knee bent, flex the right foot and lift the right leg up as much as you can. Lean on the brick and make sure that the elbow is straight. If the brick is too close to you, you won't find the balance. It has to be under your shoulder. Now, take the head and chest back. As you take it back, straighten the left leg. Straighten the left leg as you take your head and chest back. Now take the right heel back to the wall. Get stable first before straightening your arm up. Push down on the left wrist. Lift the left sternum up. Straighten the left elbow. Good, and come down, please. Release. Good. Make your way to downward dog on your mat. And step your legs through, come to a seated posture and lie down on your back, please. Have your brick close to you, if you have a brick. We're going to take a supported bridge pose. So lie down on your back with your knees bent, feet in line with your hips. Lift your hips up and place the brick under your sacrum. At the height that's appropriate for you. If you have more opening, you can take the brick higher. And Laurie, could you turn the brick sideways, please? Horizontal? Yeah. Debbie, do you have room to go higher, or is that not okay for you? Is that okay? Okay. Carrot. If you have a foam brick, you may have to place 2 of them. If you're okay, it's fine. We are going to go into an inversion, so make sure you have some stability. And I'm not sure, Donna, do you have a brick with you or not? You do, okay. So make sure you're quite stable on that brick, and then lift your feet off the floor. Bring your knees towards your chest, and then straighten the legs and knee mount in the air. And flex your feet. And just stay up there, getting the benefits of an inversion. It helps to also surround yourself with people that are supportive of the choices that serve you and those around you and nature. Choices that help you move towards a more positive state of being. Choices that help you contribute towards others moving towards a positive state of being, and choices that contribute to the entire planet getting moving towards a more positive state. And to take those around you in that path as well, not to reject them, but to take them along with you somehow. Okay, bend your knees, please. Place your feet on the floor. Lift your hips up. And take your hips slightly to your right and drop them to the floor. Bring your knees into your chest and take your knees to the left. Knees and feet together. Drop both your knees and feet to the left. Reach with the right arm in a twist. Relax the spine. And come back to center. Lift and move your hips to the other side, whichever side that is. To the left, I think. Knees into your chest and knees and feet to your right. Twist to your left. Relax the spine. Steve, ask your dog to lie down on your knees. Ask him to assist you, Steve. The dog, ask him to lie down on your knees. I'm just joking. I know if you could train dogs to be assistants, right? Oh, in yoga. How nice would that be? Okay, and bring your knees back to center. Square your hips, tuck your tailbone. Lie down in Shavasana, please. Anyway, they're usually watching you while doing yoga, right? Relax in Shavasana.
Can stay right there in Shavasana, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out for Havdalah. This is a poem by Amnon Ribak called Every Person Needs an Egypt. Everyone should have some kind of Egypt in their lives, to find Moses within themselves, to struggle out and strive, to have to fight with a hand of might, or with gritted teeth to seek the light, to walk through darkness and survive. Everyone should have some kind of Egypt in their past, the dream, the dread, the bond, the hand that they can always trust to learn to cast their sore eyes heavenwards. Every person needs a prayer, one to know by heart. Every person should, for once at least, be bowed. Everyone should have a shoulder to lean on in the crowd. Everyone should have some kind of Egypt in their gears to go forth in the mid of night into the desert of their fears, redeem themselves from a house of bondage, march straight into the sea, and see the waters part before them, as if by decree. Everyone should have a shoulder, a calm and firm and strong shoulder, on which to carry through the desert the remains of Joseph's bones. Everyone once bowed should walk tall and free and proud. Everyone should have some kind of Egypt cross their ways, and Jerusalem in their prayers, and a journey long and hard to remember in their heart and with their feet until the end of days. If you'd like to slowly come out of Shavasana and join me for Havdalah, you can do that now. Avadim haynu, haynu, ata b'nei chorim, b'nei chorim. Avadim haynu, ata b'nei chorim. המבדיל בין קודש לכל, חטאותינו ימחול. חטאותינו וכספנו ירבה כחול, והכוכבים בלילה. שבוע טוב, 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 שבוע טוב. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Shavua Tov, everybody.
Thank you. Shavua Tov.
So